Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at the lyrics for Whitney Peyton's song, Home. Several listeners pointed this one out.
Yeah, it's a powerful piece, and the request was clear. Get straight to the heart of it, figure out what's going on with these intense emotions.
Exactly. Especially this contrast, this idea of hell and home being somehow connected. That's our mission today, to unpack that.
It's a fascinating paradox, definitely. How struggle and, well, belonging can get so tangled up.
So let's start right at the beginning.
Hmm.
It was us against the world revival of The Sickest Been the Hell, and back of backs pressed upon the fences, odds stacked against us, named in the trenches, taking shots at one another.
Right off the bat, you get that feeling, us against everyone, survival mode.
Yeah, even with the taking shots at one another, like there's internal conflict, but the external pressure is the main thing.
Precisely. It sets the scene where hardship is just normal,
Mm.
the baseline. Even if they fight amongst themselves, the bigger fight is against the outside. Creates a weird kind of bond.
Which leads straight into this line. Complacency's a killer. When the trauma feels familiar, turn the pain to a pattern, mundane to a thriller. That really stood out.
Oh, absolutely. That's the normalization of trauma, right? When something awful happens so often, it stops feeling shocking. It just is.
It becomes familiar, mundane even. The thriller part is interesting, though, like finding excitement in the chaos.
It could be. Or maybe just, the intensity feels more alive than numbness. It's complex how people adapt.
Then it gets darker, but also closer. Pitch black couldn't tear us apart. Get back if you scared of the dark. Way down in the gutter. Not a thing but each other.
See, there's that bond again, forged in the worst places. Not a thing but each other. When everything else is stripped away, that connection becomes incredibly intense.
Even if the circumstances are terrible.
Especially then, perhaps. It's a survival mechanism, in a way.
Okay, so then the focus shifts a bit more towards a specific relationship dynamic.
Yeah, it hurts like hell, but it's hard to tell when it's all, you're a hot, cold lover. Chaos is your cover. That hurts like hell, but it's hard to tell part. If pain is all, how do you even judge what's good or bad, what's normal?
And the hot, cold lover with chaos as a cover.
Mm.
It sounds so unstable, volatile.
Very. It suggests inconsistency, maybe manipulation, chaos as a way to hide something, or maybe just the only way they know how to operate.
And this metaphor hits hard. It's unfortunate you put your knife right where my beating organ is soaring it. Inside my head, the voices keep on orbit.
Oof. Yeah, that's incredibly raw. The vulnerability, the direct infliction of pain right at the core, the beating organ.
And the voices keep on orbit. It's not just the initial wound, it's the lasting psychological damage, right? The memory, the hurt, just circling.
Exactly. It speaks to deep emotional injury and its persistence. Really powerful imagery.
Which brings us right to the core paradox. Hard to see the warning when it's warm inside, the burning down in the gutter. Not a thing, but each other. And yeah, it hurts like hell, but it's hard to tell when it's all, you're a heart-cold lover. Chaos is your cover. But it feels like, feels like hell, feels like home, like home.
And there it is. Feels like hell, feels like home. It's because the burning, the gutter, the pain that's become the familiar territory.
So home isn't about safety or peace. It's about what's known, even if what's known is awful.
That's often how it works when trauma is normalized. The familiar, however painful, can feel more predictable, maybe even safer in a twisted way, than the unknown alternative. The warm inside the burning captures that perfectly.
It's hard to leave the fire if you don't know what the cold feels like, or if the fire's the only warmth you've known.
Well put.
And then woven through this is the question, what's the safe word? Repeatedly. What do you make of that?
It's unsettling. On one hand, it acknowledges a need for boundaries, for a way to stop things.
But the fact it keeps being asked.
Exactly. It implies those boundaries are constantly being tested or maybe aren't respected. It adds this layer of potential danger or non-consent even within this familiar hell. It suggests things go too far, regularly.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway seems to be this incredibly complex picture where pain, struggle, and difficulty have somehow merged with the concept of home, of belonging.
Yeah. It's deeply intertwined. It's not necessarily healthy. It sounds actively harmful, but it's their normal, their known reality.
It highlights how powerfully our experiences, especially the negative ones, can shape our fundamental understanding of things like safety and comfort.
Absolutely. Our definitions are built from what we live through.
Which leaves us with a question for everyone listening. Think about your own definitions. How have your experiences, good and bad, shaped what feels like comfort or safety to you? And maybe more profoundly, What would it take to redefine home if the one you know feels more like hell?
That's a deep one to consider.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us today.